A man is behind bars and is accused of harassing a former neighbour for money before murdering her. On the 2nd of June, 56-year-old Derek Bollwinkel was taken into custody at the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix, Arizona, in connection with the death of 82-year-old Linda Jane Baran. He'd been extradited from Salt Lake City, Utah. At around 4:45 p.m. on the 11th of February, authorities responded to a residence in the area of Ellsworth and Baseline Roads in Mesa, Arizona, after concerned relatives contacted 911 and requested a welfare check on Linda. When officers arrived at the property, they found Linda's body in the backseat of her car in the garage of her home, with a fatal gunshot wound to her left side. Police determined that her hands were raised in a surrender position when she was shot, and her death was ruled a homicide. Furniture inside the front door of the home showed there was a struggle. During the investigation, they identified Derek Bollwinkel as the suspect. Authorities said that Derek and Linda had been neighbours, but he was evicted about 3 weeks before the murder. Detectives said that she was seen alive 2 days before, and that Derek had been aggressively asking her for money. At around 6:15 p.m. on the 9th of February, Derek was spotted parking his van about 100 feet from Linda's house just prior to the murder. A neighbour reported seeing him running from the home and driving off in his van just before 7 p.m. Detectives said that Derek's cell phone location put him at the scene of the crime. Investigators said that Derek went to an ATM and used Linda's debit card and PIN 9 times starting at around 7:15 p.m, roughly 20 minutes after the murder. He allegedly tried to withdraw $10,000, but completed a withdrawal for $4,000. Police did not say how they tracked him down to Utah or what he was doing there. Derek was booked into the Maricopa County Jail on charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, armed robbery and first-degree burglary. His bond was set at $1 million. His next court appearance is scheduled for the 28th of July. Derek was previously sued for consumer fraud in connection with a housing scam he conducted along with his wife. He was later convicted and served prison time for forgery and criminal impersonation. A Massachusetts woman remains held in a Vermont jail after allegedly stabbing another person. Police said that 31-year-old Courtney Muchugu of Worcester, Massachusetts, stabbed 23-year-old Arianis Morales of Springfield, Massachusetts during a fight. The incident occurred at just before 11:30 a.m. on Monday the 9th of June at the Best Western Hotel on Blush Hill Road in Waterbury, Vermont. Police said the confrontation happened after two women arrived at the hotel looking to fight a guest. A hotel employee called 911 after witnessing Courtney stab Arianis and reported saying that her insides were coming out. Medics rushed Arianis to a hospital in a serious condition. A police officer arrived on scene and found Courtney standing next to a vehicle with two men. One of the men told police that the victim was his ex-girlfriend and that she had come from Massachusetts to jump Courtney, his current girlfriend. Courtney told the officer that Arianis had been harassing her and there had been ongoing issues between them in Worcester. She said she had been receiving messages from an unknown Instagram account believed to belong to Arianis, including perceived threats like "see you soon" and "today's going to be the day." Investigators noted that Arianis and another woman had checked into the Best Western on Sunday the 8th of June with plans to stay until the next day. Courtney said that she believed they had come to the hotel to fight her. Courtney said that she and her partner had been in Vermont since the 5th of June for a couple's retreat and they were accompanied by another man. When they realised Arianis was at the hotel, the three of them decided to leave. However, Courtney said Arianis found her and chased her back inside. Courtney said her partner tried to separate them, and during the struggle she grabbed a knife and stabbed Arianis. She claimed she didn't know where the knife came from or how she came to holding it, as the altercation happened quickly. Authorities said the hotel surveillance footage showed Courtney lunging at Arianis with a knife, while her partner attempted to intervene. About a minute after the stabbing, the footage reportedly showed Courtney laughing and sticking her tongue out. The knife fused. A curved carambit blade with reddish-brown stains was initially secured by hotel staff. However, Courtney briefly regained possession of it before her partner took it from her. Roughly 5 minutes after the stabbing, Arianis returned to the hotel and showed her injury to staff. Courtney was arrested and charged with attempted second-degree murder and aggravated assault. She was booked into the Chittenden Regional Correction Facility in South Burlington. On Tuesday the 10th of June, she appeared at the Chittenden County Criminal Court, where she pleaded not guilty and was ordered held without bond. If convicted, she faces up to life in prison. 48-year-old Starshemah Jones is behind bars on multiple charges following an investigation into a suspicious death. At around 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday the 4th of June, Authorities responded to the 2100 block of Fairway Drive in Columbia, South Carolina, after a man's body was found with burn injuries inside an apartment. Investigators said that earlier that day at around noon, Starshemah allegedly approached the unidentified victim and robbed him at knife point, taking cash and personal belongings. Later that evening, she reportedly returned to the apartment to smooth things over with the victim. During the encounter, an altercation occurred and deputies say Starshemah attacked and killed the man. Starshemah is charged with murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, first-degree burglary, armed robbery, second-degree arson, destruction or desecration of human remains, possession of a weapon during a violent crime, and strong-arm robbery. She remains held at the Alvarez Glen Detention Center. 39-year-old Abbi Sovine is behind bars after she stabbed a man. On the morning of Wednesday, the 11th of June, authorities responded to a residence along Fraser Avenue in Glasgow, Kentucky on reports of a stabbing. When officers arrived, they located a man standing in the roadway suffering from a stab wound to his left arm. Officers determined that a domestic situation had taken place, and the suspect, identified as Abbi, had stabbed the victim in the left arm with a knife. The man was transported to a local hospital for his injuries. Abbi was arrested and charged with attempted murder, domestic violence, and booked into the Baran County Detention Center. Her court appearance is set for the 12th of June. 61-year-old Donald Rybolt is behind bars accused of stabbing a woman during a domestic dispute. On the night of Tuesday, the 10th of June, authorities responded to a residence in Wooldridge, Missouri on reports of a domestic disturbance. When officers arrived, they found the victim sitting in the back passenger seat of a vehicle with blood all over her right arm, with a deep cut that was about 2 inches long. She also had a gash on her eyebrow and was bleeding from her face. The victim told deputies that she was moving her possessions from a shared residence when Donald became upset and started attacking her. She said he accused her of stealing his phone and he began punching her. She then left the home to try to get into the vehicle to get away, but Donald stabbed her while she was in the car. She was transported to the University Hospital for treatment. Donald told deputies that the victim swung a box cutter at him first and he swung a knife, but claimed that he wasn't sure if he hit the victim. Donald was arrested and charged with first-degree domestic assault and armed criminal action. He remains held at the Cooper County Jail on a $250,000 bond. 38-year-old Justin Banta is accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend's unborn child by intentionally drugging her drink without her knowledge. According to the Parker County Sheriff's Office in Texas, in September of 2024, the victim said she found out she was pregnant. She told her then boyfriend Justin Banta about the pregnancy, and he allegedly offered her to cover the cost of an abortion and said they could order Plan C, commonly known as the abortion drug. The victim, however, said she wanted to keep the baby. The victim went for a sonogram on the 17th of October and learnt that the unborn child had a strong heartbeat, displayed good vital signs, and was said to be healthy by her doctor. The victim said that later that day she met Justin at a coffee shop in Tarrant County, Texas. The victim told authorities that she believed Justin had secretly added abortion-inducing pills to her drink without her knowledge or permission. On the 18th of October, the victim reportedly experienced extreme fatigue and heavy bleeding. Authorities said she went to an emergency room and lost her baby the following day. The victim alleged it was caused by drugs Justin had secretly put in her drink. Investigators interviewed Justin and collected his cell phone as evidence. Deputies allege that Justin, who works in IT for the US Department of Justice, later accessed the phone remotely and performed a reset, deleting information relating to the investigation. On Friday, the 6th of June, Justin was arrested and booked into the Parker County Jail on an outstanding warrant out of Tarrant County on charges of capital murder and tampering with physical evidence. He was released later that day after posting a $520,000 bond. The investigation into the matter continues. 26-year-old Jonathan Dominguez has been arrested after he drove while intoxicated, crashed his vehicle and killed a 4-year-old child in the same car. At 1:31 a.m. on the 8th of June, authorities responded to the 3300 block of South Mopac Expressway in Austin, Texas after multiple 911 calls were received about a single car crash. Callers reported that a car had flipped onto its roof and was in the ditch next to the highway. An officer arrived and found Jonathan in the driver's seat unconscious. The officer was able to get him out of the vehicle and he was taken to a local hospital. In the ambulance, medics said he began acting belligerent and smelled of alcohol. Witnesses told police they came to help when they saw the crash. They saw Jonathan trying to get the woman in the passenger seat out of the vehicle, but he was unable to, but he would not let the witnesses help. He then went back inside the SUV in the driver's seat before police arrived. A preliminary investigation revealed that Jonathan was driving with a woman in the passenger seat and 4 children in the back. The car left the road, struck a guardrail, and drove down an embankment on the right shoulder. The car then rolled onto its roof. 1 child, a 4-year-old, was killed in the crash. The woman had to be extracted from the vehicle. Her injuries as well as the other children inside the SUV are unknown. Jonathan told police he went river tubing in New Braunfels and then he hung out at a relative's house afterwards. He told police that he wasn't sure how the crash happened because he blacked out. He was arrested and charged with intoxication manslaughter and driving while intoxicated child passenger, and he was booked into the Travis County Jail. The investigation into the matter continues.